here, and I know that Laura has worked so hard on this project, and it's just been such a wonderful thing. I have known Laura since, I looked it up, 2020 was the first time we had class together, so it's been a little bit. And it's been so exciting to be her advisor for this project, and just through all the classes, we've done PR classes, and we were started with interpersonal communication actually, so it's been really fun. And I know that she's been just fabulous no matter where she decides to go, but it's just been really fun to work with her on this project, and especially since I know she's working with her mom and the business and things like that, so it's been really, really fun. Yeah, and I just want to say I had such a good time working with you, and I know you're going to be wonderful, and I cannot wait to hear your presentation. So, without further ado, please welcome Laura.
Hi, I know all of you, so this is going to be kind of pointless, but with the introducing of myself. But I'm Laura Spieler. Dr. Luters is my advisor, and the title of my senior honors project is Communicating with Older Adults in Regard to Their Health. So a little bit about me. My major is Organizational Leadership and Public Relations. Surprisingly, I stayed with that since I decided my senior year of high school. I have not changed my major. Why Wayne? There's a couple different reasons. The biggest one was I am a recipient of the Spieler Scholarship. So I am at the school that wanted to give me the most money to keep me out of debt. So that is the main reason, and also both of my parents attended Wayne back in the 90s, so they introduced me to it, so it has a little special place in my heart. Some of my involvement on campus, my biggest has been in concert and chamber choir. I have been in those ensembles since my first semester here on campus. At one point I was in 3 ensembles for a couple semesters. But those choirs and the Armstrongs have a special place here at Wayne, and I just love them and have had such a good time performing with them. I am also in CLAWS, which is the civic leadership at Wayne State. I was voluntold to be in that group by Dr. Morales in her classes, and then have just stayed with it because it's great. And lastly, Lynn Paeta, which is the Communication Honor Society. Deb asked me to join that when she was still here. And that's really fun too. We just had our great Christmas party, which was a lot of fun. All right, about this project, my inspiration first, my mom. She is a geriatric physical therapist, and she has been for my entire life. And I grew up watching her work with older patients and communicate with older adults, and that motivated me to want to learn how to communicate intergenerationally. I wanted to do what she did basically and learn how to communicate with people that are not my same age and not in my demographic, and how to do that with such grace and effectiveness. My research, I'm not going to talk a lot about that because it's the boring stuff. But focus on effective communication with older adults, how to get their attention, get that buy-in, and really make them feel equal in the conversation. And then lastly, application. This semester mostly, I've been working with my mom's Be Stronger 55 Plus program, which is a program she started last summer at her gym, and she coaches adults 55 and up. And it is outside of a rehab facility or a physical therapist. It is a workout class made to build up your strength and believe the statement that age really is just a number. Wow, these are all going to have transitions. Okay, I didn't add these, so we'll see where this goes. The highlights. The first one I'm going to talk about is the project background. Then we've got the research a little bit and the process. And and then last we'll do some of the events we planned this semester and the results, and then plans for the future of the business. So project background, like I said, my mom has been a PT my whole life. In middle school, she worked at a rehab facility that was a couple blocks away from my school, so I walked there after school most days when the weather was nice, and was best friends with some of her patients. Harold was my favorite, who was my honorary in-town grandpa, because I didn't have any grandpas in town, so he was my grandpa. I brought him to events at my school. They got the bus for him in his wheelchair, and it was just great. So that was my life. That was seeing who Mom was working with and seeing how impactful good communication can be and how different it is intergenerationally. And also, like I said, Mom started the UB Stronger 55 Nut program at UBX. The pilot was last summer and then officially launched in September. So we had our 1 year anniversary just a couple months ago, which was great. And the program has been growing since it started. That we've had great success with it. That's just one of the classes. We have 3-4 classes now? Lots of classes. So this is just some of the research. Like I said, I'm not going to dive too deep into this, but it set me up for great application this semester. So it's important to know each class member's medical history and their health goals. And the way we chose to organize this was the UB Stronger report cards. So we have one for each member in every class, and we basically put in their starting point of different tests used to gain their strength, and then every couple of months we have check-ins, and so they can kind of see where they've grown and how their numbers kind of fluctuate and the improvements that they're making through the class. Also, ultimate buy-in is reached when members feel supported and understood. This is a huge thing for communicating with older adults. They don't want to feel like they're being talked down to. They want to feel like equals in the conversation. And the way this is portrayed in the classes is the coaches use plain language and make each exercise customizable. So they're finding that middle ground between talking down to them, but also not expecting them to know all of the medical terminology that they need to use. So they're good at explaining and making things customizable if somebody needs to be taken down a step before they're back up with the rest of the group. And last thing, technology can be confusing and frustrating, even for a 21-year-old, I feel this, so I'm sure for people who haven't had it their entire lives, it can be even more confusing. So we primarily utilize Facebook just because that seems to be the forum that most older adults are on. And we do a lot of communicating face-to-face with current members. There's a lot of talking and promotion that goes on within the classes, kind of like announcement time in elementary school when your teacher tells you about the school musical or something like that. And the coaches take the time to tell the members about upcoming events, socials, things like that. And we did this semester, but we also use tabling at events to reach potential new members because that face-to-face interaction is so great. We can get recommendations and referrals through friends or through social media, but that face-to-face interaction is really what's going to make the biggest difference. So this is kind of the process of what set me up for this semester in the application. One of the questions I wanted to answer was, how do we best communicate with new and current members? The communication was already good, but I wanted to know how do we make it the most effective and good it can be. So I utilized knowledge from my research that I did and also experience what I've experienced through my mom's work and what she's experienced through all of her years with patients. And the kind of plan of attack that I came up with, some of the things we did was we organized the member intake sheets and report cards, so that's just a lot of really fun data entry and figuring out what kind of setup we wanted the report cards to have. We wanted them to be easily readable and very simple for the members to look at and go, oh cool, I went up 2 points on this assessment since 3 months ago. We also wanted to prioritize communicating with current members about socials, drawings, and events. We'll see that later in the presentation of some socials and events we had, and those are another great way to get buy-in from the members. And we wanted to attract new members through community outreach, tabling, and free education. Just a couple weeks ago, they held a class about basically for older adults to come and learn about healthy aging and the benefits of moving your body. and they had a great turnout for that. I was here, so I wasn't able to be there, but the turnout was great. They had several people come and learn all about the benefits. So this is one of our first events that we had. This is the Omaha Women's Health and Wellness Conference. My mom and I were at the table, as well as one of the other coaches, Nick. We paid for a table at the conference. This was a one-day conference on a Friday in Omaha. And we paid for a table, got there early, got all set up. We set up a continuous video to attract attention so you can see the TV in between us. We outsourced the video and banner design. Those are not my fortes as a communications major, so we had a company design a video for us that played on a continuous loop, and then that nice, shiny, big banner behind us. We brought a grip strength tester, which is what it sounds like. It is a handle you squeeze and see how good your grip strength is. That was a huge hit. We had several times where we had lines of people coming up and wanting to test their grip strength. The word got out, and one lady from one group of friends would be like, oh, I got this, and then her two friends would be like, well, I need to see if I can beat you. And then they'd come up and say, oh, I heard you have the grip strength. Can I try it? So that was a great way, that face-to-face interaction, some kind of competition, and a little bit of a social aspect was great to get people to come to the table. And once they're talking about their grip strength, we talk about how that is a direct indicator of the quality of your life and how important it is to pay attention to those little signs. So that was a good little foot in the door to get them into the conversation. If the conversations went well with them, we had little interest sheets they could fill out, their contact info and some of their goals, and then we did, not we, my mom and the other coaches, did free consults to see kind of where they were in their health journeys and if they were really interested in signing up for the class and getting started. Just from this event, we gained 3 new members, which was awesome. We've gained, I don't know, 7 or 8 over this semester, just through other referrals and some other outreach events, but just from this event, we had 3 ladies sign up, which was awesome. Another social, this was more of a fun event for our members. This is our Taco Tuesday social at the Corner Kick in West Omaha. So the members voted. One of our coaches had them vote on what kind of social they wanted. I think one of the other ones was like a line dancing night. That's what I was going for, but everybody wanted margs and tacos. So that's what we did, and because they got to vote, it was a great turnout. We had a lot of people there. And the great thing about this event was there was no fee for reserving the party room at the Corner Cake. So there's no upfront costs for us besides the appetizers that we decided to get people going on the food, and then they could buy other food and drinks for themselves. But as far as the social goes, it was pretty cheap on our end, considering we did not have to pay at all to reserve the party room. We definitely go back there again. One thing we didn't account for before we had the party there was the acoustics in the room. With older adults, there's usually hearing issues with some people in the group, and once we all got in there and were talking and having the food and having all of the different conversations at all the tables, it was quite loud in there and echoey. So that's another thing that we didn't even pay attention to until we were in the moment. And same with the ease of the party, there was minimal setup. We arranged tables and chairs, hung some balloons. I tied some on the door to the party room. There's a separate entrance from the main entrance to the restaurant. I tied balloons on the handle so members would know where to go, because when I'm going to a new place, I want to know exactly where I need to go. So lessening that anxiety about one less step to get to the place. And then we had some prizes for the drawing. Everybody wrote their names on little pieces of paper, and we did a little raffle, and people could pick out some prizes, which was cool. Okay. And some of our results. So we registered 3 new members just from the women's conference, and like I said, we've had 7 or 8 in total this semester. We've had a little bit of a fluctuation just because some people leave for medical reasons, and I was talking to Mom earlier, some people are leaving because they're going to Florida for the winter, but they'll be back in a couple months, so they're not taking us with them, which is really disappointing. And then another great thing was we had a bunch, a lot more engagement from the members. So higher attendance at socials, better connections between coaches and members. It's always apparent when we have these events how big of a difference it makes between everybody, the camaraderie that grows, and how great of an impact just a little Taco Tuesday social can have. And then this is a good promising start. The first year has already been great. We've set ourselves up for great success in the future, and the program continues to grow and attract new people, and there's a big market for this in Omaha. There's not very many places who cater just to older adults and prioritize them in a non-rehab way. So it's been a promising start. We've got a great future ahead of us. And I think this is the most exciting part of the presentation is plans for the future. So because we had such great success at the Women's Health Conference, we're definitely planning to table at more events. It's a great way to attract more attention, reach new people, and spread awareness about the program. Even if somebody is not old enough and doesn't qualify to be in the program, they might have a parent who wants to join the program and just needs some strengthening because they want to walk around the zoo with their kids. We have a holiday party planned for the entire gym, so this is not just the You Be Stronger 55 and up class. This is the whole gym, all the classes, all the personal training. We are having that holiday party in January at the Liquid Sunshine Tap Room in La Vista. It's connected to the Alamo Movie Theater. And there's also no fee for that, which is really nice because we can have the social and just pay for some appetizers, and everybody else can order whatever food and drinks they want. And it's a great space. There's plenty of booths, plenty of little tables for people to sit, congregate, chit chat, and just, sorry, just encourage that camaraderie. We also want to get more socials on the calendar. The UBX holiday party is the only one we have planned right now, but there's always more opportunities every season. We try to have one. I would like to have one once a month, whether or not they stay big or they're just smaller ones, maybe at the gym after a workout, something like that. But I would like to have them once a month because they just encourage such great conversation between the members and the coaches. And the last one, this is a big one, the 2024 Nebraska Senior Games. They are August 1st through 4th in Kearney, Nebraska. This year for the Senior Games, it's a qualifying year for Nationals, which is the summer of 2025. And this is exactly what it sounds like. It is the Senior Games. It's a bunch of physical games and challenges for older adults to participate in. We have a lot of time to prepare, which is nice because we're in December right now and this is until August, so we have a lot of time to elbow the members and say, hey, you should go. And my mom attended in 2023. She went in August of this year to scope it out, see what the competition is like, and just to kind of see what the participation is like and how many people are involved. And it was a great event, and we're hoping to have several of our members participate in the games next summer because it's a great way to get our program's name out too, and just encourage them to do more fun things that they would have never done before they were in the class. And that's it. I want to thank Dr. Liu for being my advisor. You were great.
Thank you.
Yes,
wonderful.
I'm so happy to have taken all of your classes since freshman year, and also happy as my advisor. For my other professors, I've taken classes from every professor in here. So just thank you for being so lovely and integral in my education, and you are very much appreciated. Does anybody have any questions?
I would love to know what your favorite part about this project is and how you can see the public relations side of things moving
my favorite part was definitely the interacting with people, and that feels like a very communication major answer. That feels fitting for me. But I really do love meeting all the people, and it brings me back to my middle school days when I walk into Mom's work and see all of her patients. And I'm looking forward to being able to go to the classes more when I'm home. I have gone a couple times over breaks when I'm able to make it, but they're during the week in the mid-morning, so I can't usually go when I'm in class. But I'm excited to hopefully go more often because the members are really, really fun, and there's always like, oh man, Betsy's sister's here. and they have a field day with that, and it's really fun. But the PR side definitely is, I don't know, I see it mostly in social media, in expanding to that realm. One of the other coaches and trainers, he does a lot of the social media for the entire gym. So breaking off from that is sometimes an option, sometimes not. If it's a whole gym thing, he usually takes care of the flyer and making that. But hopefully when I'm back in town and available more for in-person meetings, he and I can collaborate a little more and have some teamwork on that, and also to take some stuff off of his plate, because he's a busy guy running the whole gym. All right. Well,
No other questions?
no other questions? I think we're in.
We just done the job.
Thanks.
Nice.
Thank you all for coming.
Change.